In the midst of the worst economic situation since the Great Depression, it would be an unmitigated disaster. The Labor Department reported this morning that during the month of November, there was an increase in unemployment that was quite substantial. 533,000 jobs were lost. On a year-to-year basis, from December of last year to December of this year, we are down 1.9 million jobs. We are on track now to lose well over 2 million jobs, obviously, in that period. We will lose close to 2 million jobs in this year alone. Given that, any effort to denigrate the negative impact of substantial job loss and economic cutbacks in this industry has to fall. We operate, as we said, in this very difficult context. It's important to note here that, and again, I guess the issue is, should we just be very hard-nosed and say, let them go bankrupt? There is a consensus that substantial reorganization is needed. There is a consensus that a change in the product mix is needed. There is a consensus, and I congratulate Mr. Gettelfinger and the union, that economic times being what they are, everything has to be looked at, including further concessions, which the union had already made, and there were some very important ones that were put out there. All of that can be done by rational people in a sensible atmosphere. What bankruptcy adds is the ability to walk away from debt. The fact is that while we have this serious job loss, we continue to have a serious credit crisis in this country. We've got a double whammy. And a permission to these three large entities to stop paying their debts, let's call it bankruptcy, would greatly exacerbate the credit crisis. I was given by my colleague from Michigan, Mr. Levin, who's been, along with the other members from Michigan, both Democratic and Republican, obviously very much involved in this, as well as some members from Ohio, very important numbers about what the impact would be if we were to have these entities stop paying their debts. Now, we've had a pattern of intervention that this administration has led of trying to prevent people from not paying their debts, not because of concern for them, but because of the impact it would have on other people, on the creditors. We have not, on the whole, bailed out debtors. We have gone to the rescue of creditors. In every one of those cases, there have been restrictions imposed on the debtors. That will clearly have to be done here. And everyone should understand that. The companies have made some proposals. I hope we will do something, because I think for us to do nothing, to allow bankruptcies and failures in 1, 2, or 3 of these companies in the midst of the worst credit crisis and the worst unemployment situation that we've had in 70 years would be a disaster. And one of the things that I do want to note, and people have said, well, you know, a lot of mistakes were made. The companies made mistakes. Congress made some mistakes. We didn't increase CAFE standards, etc. Yes, a lot of mistakes were made. The relevance of that, it's partly this. It would be nice if we could line up all the people who made the mistakes and punish them in a way that would have no impact on the innocent. I think all of us remember in school, the teachers we hated most were the teachers who said if one person misbehaved, the whole class would get extra homework. I don't want to give the whole country extra homework because automobile executives in the past misbehaved. We have to separate out unhappiness and anger over things not done in the past from the consequences now. And that's what we are focused on. Yeah, a lot of mistakes were made. Too passive. The auto companies made mistakes. Unions made mistakes. Politicians made mistakes. The media hasn't always distinguished itself, although you're not supposed to say that. The consequence of all those mistakes is that the country is to some extent held hostage. We need to free the country. And that's the focus. Yes, there have to be changes that are made and sacrifices made, but the focal point is not to punish those who made the mistakes. It is to prevent further damage to the country, and it's in that this committee will proceed. The gentleman from Alabama is now recognized for how many minutes? 5 minutes.